Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Columbus, Ohio. In the previous episode, we finished up the 2041 off-season, and you know what? We got a bit accomplished. Not so much accomplished, but there's a lot of positives to come out of that, and as you can see right there, I did sim up a few games into the season, preseason. Not the regular season, don't worry about that. Just because I had to sign a few guys for the AHL because I didn't want to put that on camera and then have to do the lines, and it's a whole mess. And before I get to everything else, before I start the season, before I show you everything that's going on, I want to thank you guys for hitting 150 subscribers a few days ago, actually. So when I'm recording this, or when you're actually seeing this, I'll be in Newfoundland. I know, and the whole Newfoundland Snowmageddon thing, yeah, I was supposed to fly out a few days ago, didn't happen, so I've been pre-recording a bunch of stuff, so if I haven't gotten to your comments, I'm sorry. Whole lot of stuff going on. I just want to make sure that I'm consistent. This is what, this episode would be 130 something days in a row. It's pretty impressive. I'm kind of proud of myself. But that means we are getting closer and closer to the end of this franchise mode series. So in the next week or so, I should be done editing the rosters, done all that jazz, and there should be a poll up on Twitter and on the YouTube page for the next franchise mode. So if you have suggestions, leave them down below and try to convince me why you think there should be, what team should be the next franchise mode, because I want to do the entire 25 years, because I feel really attached to this team. But I think when Woodworth is retired, spoilers, he's not done yet, folks. There's a few guys that did retire. Joshua Waugh, Stu Cam. Times are changing, but I think when Jeffrey Woodworth retires, he's currently 39, he should retire anytime soon. I think I'll do seasons a little bit quicker to try to get to the next franchise mode. But let's go ahead and show you the lineups for the 2041-2042 regular season, and it looks a little something like this, a whole lot different than what you would normally see. The MVP line is broken up for the first time in like 15 years. It's been a very long time, but you still got Matthew Savoie and Jeffrey freaking Woodworth. There's nothing to say. Matthew Savoie is 37 years of age. I believe he's trying to he'll hit 2,000 points this year. Joshua Waugh was about a season away from hitting 2,000, but he couldn't hold on for one more. I couldn't blame him. He wants to go retire, go enjoy his life a bit, head back to Canada to do a few things. I'm not sure. Have some maple syrup, enjoy the snow. Who enjoys snow? Like, snow sucks. My God. Jeffrey freaking Woodworth. Now let's talk about the beauty. He's 37. I just I just mixed up two numbers. I looked at the 87 overall and 39 years of age and mixed them together. He's 87 overall at the ripe old age of 39, and I think he's got nothing to prove, really. He's off of a Stanley Cup victory, and what does this guy have to prove? Like, nothing at all. There's nothing Woodworth has to prove. He is the second best player in NHL history. Of course, Wayne Gretzky is number one. If we're going by point totals, Jeffrey Woodworth is also number two. But Jeffrey Woodworth, 7 Stanley Cups, 6 of them being captain. He almost broke one of Wayne's records, being 14 straight consecutive 100-point seasons, but he got injured, which sucks, but that tends to happen. That tends to happen when your bones are as brittle as a 39-year-old. But he's going out there. He's trying to hit 2,200 points. He'll do it. All he needs is 25, and if he has 25... if he doesn't hit 25, well, we have some problems here in Columbus, but this might be it. This is the go-home show. He has nothing to prove, but we're still a Stanley Cup contender. He's looking for number 8. And the man who gets the first line spot, MP3, you know, it's been a few seasons. I feel like I've undervalued him. He's a goal scorer, and he's going to be playing next to 2 really awesome playmakers in Savoie and Woodworth. Woodworth says he's a sniper, but he's kind of both. He can do whatever. Okay, MP3 is finally getting that shot on the first line to try and prove himself as a legitimate top line forward, and hopefully he can do that. Second line is looking weird. You might be like, what is going on, Owen? Let's start in the middle. Let's talk about these two centermen. Let's talk about the two guys that were drafted in the same year, Bobby Friesen and Alexander Mironov. Alexander. 85 overall, 22 years of age, winning a Stanley Cup before his rookie season. Think about that. Is that not crazy? I mean, the only player that I can recall doing that is coming to mind. I mean, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, so I think Patrick Waugh did it. I think Ken Dryden did it. I also think Matt Murray did it with Pittsburgh. So, Matt Murray won 2 Stanley Cups before his sophomore season, which is just incredible. Alexander Mironov, he's going to be good. I have a feeling about this kid. I think he just turned 22, so he has a full year, 22 years of age, 85 overall. He's a two-way forward, so I think he'll be the centerpiece for that second line, keeping them solid defensively. Now, Bobby Friesen, you're like, why are you putting him on the left? And I think as a centerman, it's harder to go from winger to centerman than center to winger, because center's the hardest position in hockey other than goaltending, because goaltending's just crazy. But forward-wise, it's easier for a center to go to the left or the right, especially depending on their handedness. I think he's going to be a good player either way. Now, I want to give the center position to Mironov just because I'm not sure. I think, of course, I want him there on the second line just because I think he's ready for it. If not, if I do find out that he is a third line center, then I'm going to put him down there on the third line, just because I want to give Fallon a bit more time. But I think Friesen, Mironov, and Kovalev. Yuri Kovalev, a Stanley Cup victory, bringing him over near the trade deadline. You know, he was good for us in the regular season, putting up point per game. I'm hoping for an even better season from him. 26 points, 14 goals in the postseason. He was a big contributor and a big factor in our Stanley Cup victory. So I think the second line is going to be pretty good. I think the second line is going to work. And if it doesn't, we have the players to change things up. We also have the cap space, and I'm going to get to that. There's a few things to discuss on the business side of hockey. But the third line, Khalil Fallon, we were talking about that just a moment ago. 33 years of age, did dip to an 88 overall, 2026 draft pick, second overall. You might be wondering, well, play him on the second. It's like, think about it. If Mironov is a third line, I would be willing to put Mironov to the third line just until he is a second line center. But Fallon's getting plenty of special team time. So I think he's been good on the third line for the last few seasons, but you do see right there he did drop to a top 6 potential. He is 33, so he's on the downward slope of his career. He had the worst season in a few, but he was playing solid second line minutes there for the longest time. But the young guys, I have to worry about more at this point. Friesen, Mironov, I have to worry about them, putting them into the limelight. They're in the not even the primes of their careers. So I want to make sure we handle them delicately. Guys like Fallon have been through the adversity before. Okay? He's on the downward slope of his career. It's okay, that tends to happen. Now, I do see Fallon actually, since he did drop to a top 6 potential at 33, he's probably going to retire a lot sooner than a lot of the guys that we've had before. Just because he's 33, he's on that end, but I don't expect him to be a 40-year-old in the league, you know? And two guys that are rookies on this lineup. You have Marcus Lindstrom, the 3rd overall pick. We have a few 3rd overall picks on this team. Friesen is a 3rd overall pick. There's a few 3rd. We have Luke Wheeler, who's a 3rd overall pick on this team. There's a few third overall picks on this team, but Marcus Lindstrom, he is a sniper. He's a third line scoring forward. He's already got a 5-star shooting category. He is going to be a damn good player in the future. And once Woodworth and Savoie and Fallon are out of the picture, guys like Lindstrom are going to have to be the next guy. Guys, he is 18. I'm not expecting the best rookie season out of him, but I think that third line is very solid compared to years previous. And then you have Ola Silverberg. So, you want to hear how we ripped Pittsburgh off? So, we traded Jacques Giroux to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think it was two off seasons ago. Not this off season, but the last off season. We traded Giroux to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think it was Giroux. We traded him to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for some salary cap, which we needed to sign Woodworth and get a few guys back. Woodworth came back, obviously. We got Ola Silverberg, who was the prospect in that trade that I'm like, ooh, damn, 76 overall at 20 years of age. So he was kind of good. He was kind of hot. Now, I wasn't expecting Pittsburgh to be that bad. I think I took a shot. Even a middle first-round pick would have been enough trade value, and I would have accepted it. But they were 5th last in the league. They moved back to 7th, but we used that the 7th overall pick to move up to the 3rd overall pick and acquire Marcus Lindstrom. So there's two guys that are linked that I didn't even realize until I started recording this video. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of awesome. The 4th line. Kyler Hemingway got a lot of respect from me last year, playing on the 4th line as a playmaker. You rarely ever see that work in the league where you have a playmaker on the 4th line work defensively, but he wasn't a liability. 19 points in 82 games. You can say what you want about that, but a +8. No penalty, 10 penalty minutes, which is nothing. He helped out a boatload. He was really good for us. His takeaway to giveaway ratio was pretty average. So on the 4th line, that's all I really want. I don't want him to be the worst part about the team. And now he's playing with guys like Melvin Rodriguez, who is getting the shake. I did play him on the 3rd and 4th line last year. So I'm hoping he comes into his own as a 82 overall. Maybe he turns out to be something good, because this is it. He needs to prove himself right now as a valuable asset to this team. And since we got Lindstrom, we have to play Lindstrom there, right? And then you got Matt Goring, who we did get back, 2.4 mil. That's a pretty good contract. He did play a lot of 4th line time on the Columbus Blue Jackets throughout his career. I believe the majority of his tenure in Columbus, he played on the 4th, and he was a really solid defensive and offensive player on the 4th. So I'm hoping for the exact same thing this season. Defense, what's it looking like? Abel Carlos, Mikko Jarvinen. That pair should just work really well. There should be no problems whatsoever. A really solid defensive player who can make up for Abel Carlos's shortcomings defensively. I'm expecting close to a Norris out of Abel Carlos. I'm not sure if it will happen, but he's getting a lot of special teams times. I'm hoping he can step it up. Then you got Walker Farmer, and then Luke Wheeler, 20 years of age, just off of his rookie season. Stanley Cup to his name already. Potential future captain. Now, I'm sorry, there was a few comments regarding Luke Wheeler, but I've been pre-recording so much that I couldn't actually get to them before I recorded the episodes afterwards, if you know what I mean. So I've just read a few of the comments that one of my subscribers made. He said, oh, you should play Luke Wheeler a bunch on the power play. And I'm like, what? That makes a lot of sense. He's not going to be a good defenseman. He's an offensive defenseman, and we have to put him in the position to succeed. So he's on the power play. I think he's on both units, the 4-man and the 5-man power play. So I'm hoping he picks it up this year. 80 overall. He's got plenty of time to succeed. I don't know why ice time he was mad about, but he's getting plenty of ice time now. That shouldn't even be a problem. 3rd pairing, Chance Walker, who we did sign in the offseason because we have a boatload of cap. I think he'll be a fine addition to this team. But then you have Magnus Lundstrom, who came out of nowhere. Honestly, we played him in the AHL for a bunch of years. I think we left him unsigned there for two whole seasons. You know, and he kind of just came out of the woodworks. You know, we had him in the AHL. We played him a bunch. But he jumped up a lot, and he's an 83 overall defenseman. 2 years left on his contract. He's playing some penalty kills, so I don't think he'll be upset playing there on the third pairing. He's going to be a solid defenseman, 23 years of age, 83 overall. That is what I like to see. Now let's get to the special teams. It's looking weird this year. Not seeing Joshua Waugh on the power play is something really freaky. So the MVP line is no more, but then you got the MVP duo. Hopefully Prohor can be a good piece there on the first line. Then you got Luke Wheeler obviously playing with a dynamite defenseman on that pairing. So they should be just total offense. There should be no problem there. The second power play unit, Matthew Savoie. Again, you might be like, why are you playing him twice? Remember the season he had 141 points. I think that was a big reason to why. Last year was just iffy all around for the team, even though we won 59 games. How can it be iffy, Owen? I know when my team is performing iffy, it wasn't a total offensive, just dynamite season for this team. So I'm hoping this year, with a few new additions, a few younger guys, we can shape out to be really well. And I think this team might be better assembled than last year. Okay, you know, guys like Waugh off the roster, just getting older and not being good defensively reliable. It helps us move towards the future, you know? I mean, Matthew Savoie is 37, so he could be gone anytime, but you know, the good thing is we have a lot of centers to replace him. And then you got Bobby Friesen, and then you got Mironov on the power play, who just scored a bunch in the postseason. Like, how many goals did he score in the postseason? He scored 5. You know, he's a beauty. I'm expecting big things from him. You know, I mean, I could move Garrett Kovalev up there. That would make more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. Sure. Like a 4-man like that. Lindstrom has gotten some power play time. I just want to make sure he gets a bit of power play time just so he doesn't get upset playing just the third line. Let's test him out on the power play. Penalty kills looking like that. Beautiful. Lundstrom getting some time there. 3-man, I know they have a -1 there, but their overall should just negate that, really. 4-man, what's it looking like? Or extra lines, looking like that. Looking like that. 3-on-3 is just dynamite watch-out league. We're coming for you. Extra attacker, Savoie and Kovalev. Shootout is looking like that. Now, something I need to talk about. Goaltending. Vyacheslav Kavanov, 35 years of age, 87 overall. Now, our backup goalie last year, Bryce Barch, is up to an 87 overall, which means he is going to overtake Kavanov here pretty soon. Now, you might be like, well, you should probably play Barch in the starting position, but there is something I have in mind. Kavanov's getting older, but one more 40-win season, or if you give him 30 wins this year to get him up to 60, we can play him as a backup for a few more years, or play him as starter this season and backup next season, and he should break Martin Brodeur's record for most wins. And that's what I'm looking at right now, to get him past the most wins all time, which I've never seen done in a simulation. He's one of the best goalies of all time, if not the best. Like 9 Vezinas, 10 William M. Jennings, or 11 at this point. Something crazy like that. So Bryce Barch, I'm hoping for big things. He did have a really, really good season last year. 19-1-0, 910 save percentage. So if the time comes, Vyacheslav Kavanov is going to have to take a step back. But the Martin Brodeur is the biggest thing on my mind right now, passing him. Scratch players are looking like Murphy and Emil Schultz. Murphy's not a prospect. Emil Schultz was pretty good, okay in the games that he came in to play last season. Not a liability, but I'm not hoping for injuries this season. AHL I'll go over pretty quickly. There's only a few things I want to talk about. Grayson Murphy, who was a second-round pick last year for us, actually first in the second round, 19 years of age, playing him plenty of time in the AHL. He's going to be getting a lot of time to produce, especially with guys like Mayers and Ganon. He should be pretty good. He's going to turn out to be a really solid centerman, probably a third-line centerman most of his career. I think he'll be pretty good. He's a two-way forward, and he's shaping up to be a pretty solid player. Now, that's the only notable forward on the forward core. Jaden Swanson, who has just taken a fall from grace, he's upset. He actually costs 1.5. So if we need to move cap space, obviously he'll be the guy out. But we have so much cap space to work with, it ain't even funny. Then you got a prospect in Robert Eklund, 19 years of age, drafted with Murphy. Those are the only two forwards that I'm looking at right now. Martinez and I think Peterson, 23 years of age. They're not going to get much better. I hope they do, but if we need to make a trade, they're going to be the guys out, especially for their value. Defense, looking a little bit more, it's looking a lot younger. Vikland, Reasoner, who are young, and they could jump up into an NHL spot if we need them. You got Guy Bouchard, who I'm pretty sure I signed him in free agency. I did. 20 years of age, 71 overall. He could turn out to be something, especially how iffy low elite potentials can be. Sheldon Kane, who we drafted, not last draft, but the draft before, alongside Grayson Murphy. He should be pretty good. 19 years of age. You know how iffy defensemen are as developing, so you never know. And then you got Kabulin, and then you got Huberdeau, who probably won't turn out to be anything, but trade chips nonetheless. Goaltending is looking like Desmond Byers, and then you got Briz Goloff, a medium fringe starter. Now, the biggest thing that I notice 2 episodes ago during the draft or during the offseason, Desmond Byers jumped from a high elite potential to a franchise goalie. So the goalie of the future, in my mind, is Desmond Byers. By the time he is a decent NHL starter, Kavanagh should be on the way out. Kavanagh is my main man. He's going to stay on the roster as long as possible, hopefully until he retires. But Desmond Byers, man, ooh, he's going to be so good. He's officially the starter in the AHL. I'm hoping for big things from him. Now, before we get to simulating a few months here in the regular season, I want to discuss a few things about contracts. We have so much money to work with this coming off season, and right now we have $13 million, which is the most money we've had in one season, or during the regular season, since I believe probably season 1 or 2 of this franchise mode. So we have a lot of contracts coming up, and I want to swindle my way to spending less money. And I have not checked how much each guy is going to be worth. Abel Carlos, $13 million. But we do have $55 million this offseason to work with. Guys like Woodworth and Savoie might be gone. So you never know. Obviously, guys like Mironov, Rodriguez, and Silverberg are expecting contracts. And then I think Bryce Barch needs to be signed. But right now, I'm going to go through the possible guys that we can sign. So I'm not worried about Savoie and Woodworth, but I think how much is Woodworth going to cost for one more year? $9 million? We should probably do that just to get them back. Savoie, 12, he's worth it easily. They're 2 of our best forwards. But first, I want to look at Kovalev. 3 more years. He's good, though. He's really, really good. So I'm going to wait on him. First, I want to check out Mironov. Now, he wants 1 year, but if we go to 3 years, he wants 3.6. Now, this could be iffy. We could offer the contract, and he could be really mad about it. But I want to see how much we could potentially get him for, because he's just going to get better. I think the only reason he's asking for so little is because he doesn't have any offensive stats at this point. He only has postseason stats. So I think I'll go up to 3.3 over. You know what? We'll go up to 3. We'll give him whatever he's asking for. 3.6 over 8 years. He'll be worth it, and he's probably worth it right now. Okay, then you got Melvin Rodriguez. So 1 year. We could just if he gets mad about it, we can trade him. these contracts are not hard to trade. There's plenty of teams just dumpster fires right now that we could trade Cap to. It's not a big deal. So a guy like him, we could 2.07 for the next 8 years. Just handing out 8-year contracts. Now, Silverberg, we'll go up to, we'll give you, yeah, sure. And then the goalie in Bryce Barch. Now, Bryce Barch for 2 years wants 2 years. Yeah, I can do 2 years. 2 years at 3.3 times 0.85 equals 2.8. I just want to get a few of these contracts out of the way just because it'll make it an easier off season for us in general if we can just get them out of the way now. Byers will be up for... we can give him 2 years, and he won't ask for any money, and then he should be an NHL player by then. Okay, and I think, do we worry about anybody at this moment in time? Vikland is up. Can we sign him to like a 2-way contract? No, we cannot. Okay, that'll be fun to deal with. Okay, hold on a sec. I could wait until the middle of the season and see what we're dealing with by then. And that makes more sense. That makes more sense. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and sim... well, I should show you something else first. So, you know, Stutkam did retire, which sucks. But that means one of our assistant captains is gone. And now, you might be like, well, there's a lot of guys you could choose. You could choose Fallon. You could choose Friesen. You could choose MP3. You could choose Kovalev. There's so many guys you could choose. But I think going in the future... we gotta groom somebody. And I think Luke Wheeler is the man that we have to give the responsibility to. You might be like, well, Abel Carlos, friggin' Mikko Jarvinen. You could. And I think they are captains on this team. They know that. They don't have to know that. But going into the future, we have to give some responsibility to these young players, and putting an A on their jersey, I think, is just a statement, a very, very bold statement. So we are heading into the 2041-2042 regular season. This franchise mode is almost done, which is just crazy. It's crazy to me. Silverberg signs a contract. Okay, come on. Byers. Cool. And come on. Rodriguez. Cool. And Barch. Cool. Mironov. Cool. Hell yeah. Look at us go. It all works out, guys. It all works out. Now, you know how I feel about slow simming games. So I'm not going to slow sim any games until I feel like it. So we will sim up one entire month, see how this team is gelling. I have a bad feeling that we're not going to gel super well, but that's just me. 6-1 victory to start off this season. That's pretty good. And then we drop one against St. Louis, pick one up against Vegas. That's pretty good. Another one against St. Louis. Can we pick up the W? Come on. I'm feeling the W. 7-6 shootout loss. Yikes. That is a bad one to lose. San Jose. And we're back up to 500. Edmonton. And we're above 500 with a shutout. And then a 12-3 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, geez Louise, you kill them. And Khalil Fallon wants to talk to me. What's up, bud? You're not happy about your 14 minutes? Well, man, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be persuaded. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to disagree with you, man. You know the position that you are on this team. You've helped us win so many Stanley Cups. You should know by now what your position on this team is, and you got to respect that we have a lot of young guys coming into the lineup. Francois Huberdeau has been hurt, but we lose to the Islanders 8-7. Ooh, and then we lose Marcus Lundstrom, who until the 11th. Head coach replaces player for 1 game, and there we go. We finished the first month up. The games that we lost were pretty iffy. Oh, he's 2 points away from 2,200. Oh, he's tearing the league apart, folks. The offense was huge for us that month. There's no question. The defense, kind of iffy, so I'm interested to see who is the better goaltender. Jeffrey Woodworth leading this team in points. He's down to an 85 overall, but he is not dead yet. Oh my Lord Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is just crazy. He has 8 power play points through 11 games. 2 game-winning goals. Wow. He's 2 points away from 2,200, man. He's almost 40. What a legend. What a legend. I love him to death. So that first line is popping off. So I think MP3 has fit into that top line very, very well. There's a few other options I was willing to go with, but seeing them click so well so far throughout the season is incredible. They've scored 25 goals combined on that first line through 11 games. That's crazy. That is nuts. But I love to see that. That's huge. That is huge. And you know what else I like to see? Oh, Alexander Mironov. Oh, wait, did Savoie actually hit 2,000? No, he didn't. Okay, so he's about a season away from hitting it. He can hit it pretty soon, actually. Alexander Mironov, the rookie, coming for a Calder. 12 points in 11 games. Oh, okay. He's down to did he just drop to an 83 overall for morale? So I wonder. No, he's working right now. So maybe Fallon goes up to that second line. If we're losing games, I'm willing to move Mironov down. But right now, he is just clicking. As a rookie, with the Stanley Cup under your belt, that's kind of hard to argue against, you know? Why am I on all skaters? There we go. That works for me. And then you have Fallon, 10 points in 11 games. That's nothing to be upset about. Yuri Kovalev with 8. Expecting him to score more goals, but he is a second-line forward, so he works really well with in the roster right now. He was on pace to score the most goals in the league last year, but he did score 50, which is really impressive. You don't see a lot of 50 goal scorers on this team anymore. I think Savoie was the latest guy to do it. I think last year he won the Rocket. I just can't recall how many he won. I think how many he scored, actually. He scored 59. Good for him. Good for him. Kovalev, Friesen, who could pick it up a little bit. He is a first-line forward, but that first line is popping off so well. He's getting plenty of special team time. 7 points in 11 games is not bad, so he's on pace for one of his better seasons yet. Okay, Ola Silverberg, a rookie, producing pretty well. Hemingway, 6 points on that fourth line, so there's a few guys, where are they? Lindstrom, as a rookie, 6 points. That's pretty nice. He's mad about ice time. And I don't understand that because we're playing plenty of ice time. EA, get your game together, seriously. Melvin Rodriguez, 3 points. Goring, 3 points. But defensively, they're not too bad. How is the defense actually doing? Oh, Abel Carlos is coming for a friggin' Norris. You say you expect a Norris and he's going to go out and get one. Great season so far. 10 points through 11 games. Our offense is popping off, but I'm actually really scared about our goaltending so far. There's one goalie that's just going to be a lot worse than the other, and I could tell. Chance Walker. Oh, we have 2 Walkers on the team. Chance Walker, 5 points, plus 12. That's really good. Walker Farmer, 4 points. Luke Wheeler, 3 points. 1 power play goal, so he's not doing great on the power play so far, but as a sophomore, 3 points through 11 games. Ain't too shabby. He's going to be a good player pretty soon, I can tell. He's going to be good. I can feel it. I can feel it. Mikko Jarvinen, 3 points, plus 6. He's going to get better throughout the season. Then you got Marcus Lundstrom, who was hurt, but he was performing pretty well. As a rookie and as a defensive defenseman, plus 12 is really all I'm looking for. Goaltending, yeah. He's played half the games, but you can just tell he's running away with that starting position. So 4-2-1, 1 shutout for Kavanagh. He's an .868 save percentage and a .372 goals against. Bryce Barch is 3-1-0 with a .933. So maybe that I don't want to split them. Like, he's playing half the amount of games, right? So, and he's performing so much better. That's something to remember, to jot down heading into the rest of the season. Entire league, what's it looking like right now? No, why am I going to that? The best player in the league so far is Tumo Laxo for the, oh yeah. Couldn't recall that guy. First overall pick in 2030, 11 years ago. Yikes, he's pretty good. And oh, I get it. I get why they're performing so well. So San Jose is a beast in the West. I understand that. Who's leading in goals? 12 for Kovacs. Okay, Calgary. Defenseman. Oh, Russell LaRose. 81 overall. I don't expect him to stay at that pace throughout the entire season, but wow, he's a plus 15 too. He's running away with it at this point, but we have a long season to play. Goaltending is looking like, wow. Oh my god. Kavanagh has 4 wins compared to Phillips, who was 10-2-0. 931 save percentage. Yeah, he's running away with it right now, if I do say so myself. He's not a Dallas goal. He is. Wow. Wow. Zachary Boro. So you see a few former Blue Jacket goaltenders. Wow, that's hilarious. Now who's winning the Calder at this point? Alexander Mironov in 2 less games than the next guy in Honula. That is something I really like to see. Now, let's go ahead and sim another month. Let's do it. It's been a long episode, but let's do it. One more month, let's see how this team is, and then I can evaluate them myself on my personal time off camera and see what I can do to fix or help this team, because we have a lot of cap space to work with. If we need to go out and make a move, I will, okay? Detroit, dumpster fire, we beat them handedly. So we've been iffy this season. No long win streaks, but Lundstrom is back. That's going to help us out tremendously. So here we go. Take Murphy out. Did Murphy do well? I'm actually going to check. See how well Murphy did. Murphy, how did you do in those games? Not good. So that's something to hold on to. Now, do I do that? Mironov is the third line. I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to move him to the third line. I don't want him to get mad because he's playing more ice. You know what I mean. I think he has to grow based on his statistics and not just his morale, which I think has screwed us up in the past. But if we don't click and Mironov is mad, I'm going to move him up. But right now, Fallon should get more time. He's the more offensive player. So hopefully we turn on the Jets here. Kompaka wants to talk. What's up? Oh yeah, off camera he talked to me about Lindstrom, and I'm gonna keep him on. I'm gonna keep him in the NHL, and he's happy about that. Cool. He agrees with my decision, and he better, because I'm paying him lots of money, and he should listen to me. Buffalo, can we pick up a W3-2 shootout victory? I'll take it. 10-4-2, another shootout victory. Why are we giving so many extra points to teams? We beat a division rival handily. Minnesota. No. Why? Well, no. Buffalo. No, thank you. Minnesota. Big W there. So hopefully, I mean, we're off to an iffy start. I know. Oh, no. Jeffrey Woodworth has been injured. Okay, I'll go head coach place player for this game. 4-2 victory against the New Jersey Devils. That sucks. We only lose him for about a week. That makes sense. Yeah, my English is not good, yeah. So we lose. Damn, that sucks. So Woodworth, how was he doing? He was doing so good, man. He was doing so good, and he hit 2,200, man. Why do you hate me? Okay, let's think critically here. Let's go with let's change it up here. Let's go with something like that. I know technically Emil Schalz is playing on the power play and stuff, but it's only a few games. Something fresh. He's just a placeholder. He's good offensively anyway, so we should be fine. We've been good in our last 10 games. Hopefully Woodworth comes back and is nice and healthy. Okay. He should be back right before the Tampa Bay game. Okay, come on, Carolina. Come on. So we handedly 2 awesome victories there against division rivals. 3 in a row, actually. Can we make it 4 against division rivals? We make it 4 in a row. Woodworth is back before the Tampa game. That is good to see, yes. I have been waiting for this. So we actually performed pretty good without Woodworth, which is good. Obviously, I want us to perform either way. We have a good team. So, okay, let's see if I can fix this up. How was it? So, him here, him there. How's Mironov been? Holy moly, he's good. 20 points through 23 games. He might be the caller person right now. That is huge. I really like to see that. So, Woodworth is back. That is good. How's Lindstrom been? 11 points through 23 games as a rookie. Ain't too shabby. It's pretty good. So, Tampa Bay, do we beat them? Can we make it 5 straight? We do. That's 6 straight, actually. Nope, that's a few. Oh, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go until we lose. It might be here against Washington, but let's go until the streak is over. So, December 1st, obviously, our phase cannot be signed after this point. Bobby Friesen wants to talk. Persuade, you're doing fine, bud. Don't even worry about it. Good. You don't care. Cool. Cool. So let's go until we lose. Washington. Ah, cool. 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 That's how we end the episode. So Matthew Savoie is leading in points, but this episode has been long enough as it is. We are currently not first in the NHL. Wow, the Stars are good. 23-3-1. We are not that good. We are not that team anymore. But if we want to make the postseason, we're going to have to keep on the same pace. We are 9-1 in our last 10 games. We're a dynasty. Let's show the league why we are. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.